White's Contender series is back for Season 9. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the first week. So let's get into it. First off, I would like to say that this week has a lot of intriguing matchups. A lot of the fights in this week are very close in moneyline odds, but Tapology is picking every single favorite. So let's see if I pick every single favorite as well. First fight on the card is Murtaza Talha taking on Baysangur Susurkaev. Now here's what you should know about Murtaza. He has never been to a decision. All of his fights have ended either by brutal KO or by submission. He was on the Dana White Contender series before. He fought Rodolfo Bellato and lost by round 2 KO. He was getting pieced up in that entire fight. And then since that fight, he fought an 0-4 guy, and that fight got flagged by Tapology for being like not compliant with Tapology rules. It looks kind of fraudulent. Not a great look. He did go 11-0 as an amateur and then went 6-0 before he inevitably lost by KO to Rodolfo Bellato. And he also trains with Islam and Habib's teams. Even though he's Bahrainian, he does train with the Habib fellas. Now, Baysangur Susurkaev, I don't even know if I'm saying that close to right. He looks like a chill guy. I mean, the meme, the chill guy, like that is his facial expression. And honestly, that's how he fights. He fights kind of low volume-ish, but everything he throws is with evil intent. He has 8 wins. He's undefeated. 7 of those wins are by KO. He's got a decision win as well. And all the KOs that he had on the feet were some crazy knockout. It was a flying knee. It was some kind of straight punch down the middle. He's not getting ground and pound KOs. He's finishing people on the feet. He also trains in Chechnya with Hamzat a couple times, and he's been training at Killcliff FC lately, so he's been training with good guys. And he's also 24 years old compared to the 29-year-old Murtaza, who does have more damage accrued in his career. So for all those reasons, we're going to be taking Baysangur Susurkaev to win by KO. I think he would be the much more entertaining prospect in the UFC. I think Dana White is rooting for this guy to win, considering Murtaza got slept by Bellato. So yeah. Next fight on the card, we got Christopher Ewert taking on Yuri Panferov. Here's what you should know about these guys. Ewert, it is pronounced Ewert, not Ewert. I've heard the announcers say Ewert, so it's Ewert. He was scheduled to fight Jackson McVeigh on short notice, but he had to pull out because he couldn't make weight. I don't even know why he took that fight in the first place. He was over 200 pounds with 6 days to go, but alas, that is what it is. He also beat Baby Goose MMA Reese Watkins on the regional scene. Reese Watkins is a guy that dropped out of college, went all in on MMA, is a big meme page. Ewert has a decision win over him. He also knows how to win minutes, considering 2 of his wins are by decision. He's not just going out there and flatlining people. He does have the ability to points fight and win the thin margins. But a big problem I see with Ewert is on the feet. He is fighting like he is in quicksand. He is very slow, in my opinion. And I think against a guy that's super fast and powerful, I think that will give him troubles. Yuri Panferov, he fought Torres Finney on the Contender series, lost by round 2 sub, but he did nearly KO Finney in that fight. All of his wins so far have come by finish, with 3 KOs and 5 subs, and all of his 5 amateur fights have also come by finish. In my opinion, he fights with reckless abandon, but he is prone to getting countered. Whenever he starts throwing a big flurry, he does leave his hands low. So if Ewert is going to win this fight, I think he needs to land a counter KO. But I don't know if that's going to happen. No one's had success on the feet against Panferov to date. The only reason he lost, his only loss, was because of big grappling advantages. So for those reasons, I think there's enough here to take the underdog, Yuri Panferov, the Russian polar bear. I'm predicting him to win by a round 1 knockout. That's how he usually wins. He usually just goes out there and throws. So I think that's going to happen in this one. Next fight on the card, we got Jimmy Drago taking on Ty Miller. Jimmy Drago, he has 4 KO wins, he has a sub win, and he has 2 decision wins, showing me that he can win by any means necessary. He's pretty well versed and well rounded in MMA. He is a recovering addict. He's had multiple overdoses early in his life. I was going to say career, but in his life, like, kind of reminds me of Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon was also an addict and came around and shows how much knockout power he has. Both of his losses, Jimmy Drago, are by finish, KO, and by sub. And in his last fight, like I said, it was a no contest. Now, Ty Miller, on the other hand, he has 2 KO wins, 3 decision wins. He's going to have a huge size advantage in this matchup. He's going to be the way taller fighter and the way longer fighter. He has showed me that he does struggle with takedown defense, but he does have a good get-up game, and he has a boxing background. So Ty Miller is extremely well-versed in striking, while as Jimmy Drago is just well-rounded. I like taking the guy that has one big strength compared to a guy that is decent everywhere. I am taking Ty Miller to win this by a round 1 or 2 knockout. I think he has the striking prowess to knock out a guy like Jimmy Drago, and Jimmy Drago has also been finished, and Jimmy Drago also looks like he's going to be the way slower fighter in this fight. Next fight on the card, we got Radley De Silva taking on George Mangos. I'm going to approach this breakdown a little differently. Radley De Silva reminds me of a Bonfim brother. He throws with reckless abandon. He's going to try to knock out George Mangos in the first minute of the fight, whereas George Mangos, he kind of reminds me of a Jimmy Flick if Jimmy Flick actually had good hands. George Mangos is trying all different types of submissions, flying triangles. I think he has another weird one. He has an omoplata on the amateur scene as well. So this guy can also standing rear naked choke you as well. So Radley De Silva fights with reckless abandon, has big KO power. George Mangos is a submission specialist who's coming off back-to-back KO wins as the Hex champion. So both guys are well-rounded. Both guys can win by knockout. Both guys can win by submission. I'm gonna lean with George Mangos to ultimately win this by sub. I think George Mangos just has all the tools here. He's 21 years old compared to Radley, who's 30. You might say Radley has the experience upside, but I think George Mangos has just the better style to proceed far in the UFC. He does stand on his feet a lot. He's not really the best mover, but I think he has the jiu-jitsu advantage, so if it gets to the ground, I expect De Silva will lose. He got rear naked choked in the 3rd round by a 42-year-old, so for those reasons, we're going with Mr. Mangos. And the main event of Week 1 of the Contender Series for Season 9 is Ilian Bouafia, yikes, versus Neemias Santana. Now, Ilian Bouafia, he does have 5 KO wins and a decision win as well. He is coming off of a decision win, so his first 5 fights were all knockouts. Then he gets a jump up in comp, and he wins by decision. Not the best look. He also trains with Hamzat. He's going to have a big size advantage, height, and reach. He is French, but he flies the United Arab Emirates flag. Not sure what that means, but it is a thing. He's super quick on the feet, and he also got crazy power. Neemias Santana, on the other hand, 6 KO wins. He's got a sub win as well, and his losses are by submission, decision, and he also has a split draw on his record. He throws his shots with 100% power, but the problem I see for Neemias is he doesn't throw at a lot of volume. Very often, he'll just be standing there waiting for you to throw, and if you don't throw, he'll just taunt you to throw. He also has a questionable resume earlier on in his career. So with, everything being stated, Ilian can win by KO, and Neemias can also kind of win by KO. But if this fight plays out like a staring contest, I'm expecting Ilian Bouafia to actually win this by decision. I think he's going to out-volume Neemias, and considering neither guy has ever been KO'd, I'm not banking on that happening. And here are my final predictions for Season 9. I'm going with Ilian Bouafia by decision, George Mangos by round 2 sub, Ty Miller by round 1 KO, Panferov by round 1 KO, and Susurkaev, the chill guy, to win by round 2 KO.